What's up, LF students? Hey, we're glad you have joined us tonight. My name is Josh. I am the student pastor here and also your host for LF Students Live. And this is my co-host tonight.
Hey everybody, it's Brittany.
It is Britteny Francke, the better half of the Francke couple. The Francke tribe, the Francke... Frenzy. I knew there was something like that. The Francke Frenzy. So, going 6 strong. Should we shoot for 7?
No.
No more. 6 is good.
6 is good.
Hey, listen, we are glad that you have joined us tonight. We are so excited about tonight. We look forward to every Wednesday night when we get to spend an hour with you guys. We can't wait till we get to spend an hour with you guys in person. Yes. We don't know when that's going to be yet, but it's sooner than it was yesterday. How about that? Well, we got some fun stuff planned tonight. And the first thing is my favorite segment. I say that every week because it really is my favorite segment of the entire show. And it is Ask Me Anything with Brittany tonight. So you guys know the routine. I need some great questions tonight for Brittany. And you guys have not disappointed every week to come up with good questions. So, so throw some questions out here for Brittany. And we'll get to know Brittany a little bit better tonight.
I'm just going to start off saying we're not having any more kids, so don't ask. Don't ask.
While you're throwing some questions out there, let me just remind you, if we hit 75 viewers tonight, we're giving away a really cool prize at the end of the night. Ooh. If we hit 100 viewers... What happens, Brittany?
Yeah, Noah's going to shave his head.
Noah's going to shave his... I was really
Not
hoping...
the beard, just the hair.
I was really hoping we'd get to do that tonight with you on the show. You could have done it. We could have brought your kids up here.
That'd be great. They'd be
so fun. They would love it.
They'd be cracking up.
So maybe next week. So yeah. We're at 37 viewers right now. So you know what? Just text somebody. I texted you all just a minute ago the link. You've got the direct link. So send it to a friend. Say, hey, I want you to jump on right now. All right, because we'd love to hit 75, and we'd really love to hit 100 because I want to see Noah's head shaved.
Yes.
So here we go. All right, let's play Ask Me Anything. All right. Jameson Payton wants to know, what is your favorite breed of dog? Do you even like dogs?
I do like dogs. Noah doesn't like dogs, but my favorite breed of dog is a border collie.
Is Noah a cat person?
No, he's not a cat person.
He's a no animal person.
He's an anti-animal person. No animals.
All right. This is a great question. I wish we had known that they were going to be in town a little earlier. Many of you guys remember Aubrey and Howard, who were with us for a little bit. They're actually in town for a little bit, and if I'd known that, we would have got them on the show tonight. That would have been a ton of fun.
That would be fun.
But Noah wants to know a question. He wants to know...
Noah?
Your Noah. Wants to know, who is your favorite, Aubrey or Howard?
Baby G. Baby Gideon's my favorite.
Baby Gideon, that's right.
I'm not picking between them.
That's right. What is your biggest pet peeve about Noah? Denisa Parker wants to know that.
About Noah?
About Noah.
There's so many. No. I don't like this horrible sound he makes when he's all congested.
Just when he's congested?
Like all the time. This horrible sound he makes all the time.
Does he snore?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, sometimes. But that doesn't bother me because I sleep through that.
Oh, well, that's good.
That doesn't bother me.
That's good.
It's like a coffee. I don't know.
Let's see. Connor Stanfield wants to know, ice cream or cake?
Oh, ice cream.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Ice cream.
Cookies and cream, ice cream.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Now you're speaking my
For
language.
Sure. For sure.
Yes. Carrie Patterson wants to know, why did you join the student ministry? Because your husband bribed you.
No, actually, because Josh asked me.
Yeah.
Noah had been asking for like years, and I was like, whatever, it's fine.
It took me.
And then Josh asked, and I said, okay.
Yeah. Yep. It just took me asking.
And I prayed, and God said,
yeah, exactly. We're glad to have you on the team.
Thanks.
Anthony Parker wants to know, who's your favorite Avenger?
Black Widow. She's an Avenger, right?
Yeah,
she's so cool. She doesn't even have a superpower.
That would not be my choice.
But she's so cool.
Let's see.
What else? Cop Out.
Cop Out.
Yeah. To Baby
Oh,
G.
that was yeah.
Well, whatever.
Dana Payton wants to know, or actually this is probably Haley Zabinko, wants to know, have you ever been to the Barrel of Fun?
No, I haven't, but I know what it is. It's not like it's a mystery. I've just never gone.
I have yet to go to the Barrel of Fun, and I cannot wait to go to the Barrel of Fun this summer.
We should go. We should do like an outing.
We should, except we can't right now.
Well, can't do anything.
As soon as we can, we'll go to the Barrel of Fun. And Zabinko, can you hook us up with some free ice cream?
Yes.
That would be sweet.
Cookies and cream, please.
Do they have cookies and cream?
I don't know, but that's the best ice cream.
All right, Zabinkos, we need you to confirm with us over the chat. Do you all have cookies and cream ice cream? And if so, if not, then what is the best thing to get at Barrel of Fun? This is free advertisement for them, by the way.
You're welcome.
Oh, Tammy Smith says they have the best burger. I didn't even know they served food.
I didn't either. I've never been. I didn't know.
I thought it was just ice cream. Okay. They said, yes, we do. Okay. Do you like whitewater rafting? Dave Richardson wants to know.
Yes. Whitewater rafting is my favorite.
Does Noah like whitewater rafting?
I think he's been twice. We went once in high school, and then actually my 16th birthday, I took a bunch of friends to Gatlinburg and we went whitewater rafting. And Noah went with me.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, we did that.
All right, let's do one more. Ann Menace wants to know, what is your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show of all time that I've ever watched, One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill.
I love One Tree Hill.
I haven't seen One Tree Hill at all.
Well, it's good. It's real good.
Does Noah like One Tree Hill?
Oh, okay. Noah was watching One Tree Hill when we started dating, and I had never heard of it before.
Is this it's like a chick show?
Yeah, for sure.
And Noah was watching it?
Yeah, for sure.
That explains a lot.
And so I started watching it, and then actually it was filmed in Wilmington, South Carolina, North Carolina, I don't know. But on our honeymoon, we were in Myrtle Beach, and it's only an hour away, so we drove up there and went to like all the places that they filmed the TV show at.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Noah says, need a shout out from mom. I'm assuming that's your kiddos.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Hi, guys. Lexi, Liam, Lorelai, Logan. I love you.
Do you ever get tongue-tied?
All the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Which L are you?
Yeah, you know who you are. You know?
I love you guys.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's fun. I love Ask Me Anything. That's always a fun way to start our show. But we've got a game we want to play, and I think this is appropriate since you're on the show tonight because you are a nurse. You have been working in the hospital through all of this COVID stuff, which means you know a lot about masks.
Yeah, I mean, I wear one every day.
Well, we're going to play a game called What's Behind the Mask. Okay. And the way this works, if we'll throw the instructions up there, it's going to work this way. As soon as the instructions come up. Oh, there are no instructions. Okay. So I'll explain the instructions. The way it's going to work, there's going to be a picture that comes up of a celebrity. There's going to be a mask on them, obviously. And there's going to be a question. And you guys just have to answer the question correctly or incorrectly and see if you get the right answer. And keep up with your score. Be honest. Jesus knows if you lie.
Right.
And by the way, there's no way to cheat at this game. So if you are one of our cheaters, Caleb Richardson, Jacob Zabinko,
you know who you are.
You know who you are. If you are our regular cheaters of games, you can't cheat on this game. So yeah. So we're gonna play What's Behind the Mask. Keep up with your own score. Chat in your answers, and then we'll see who has the most correct, and we'll shoot them a prize later. All right. So here we go. First one. What's behind the mask? What is the status of Chris Pratt's mouth behind his mask? Is it open, closed, or open with the tongue out? Chris Pratt, he's kind of a goofy guy, right? Yeah. Who all has he played?
Star-Lord? Doesn't he play Star-Lord?
Star-Lord?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's the not the Avengers. I mean, it is part of the Avengers.
Yeah, he plays Star-Lord. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I couldn't spit it out. Yes. Yeah, he's the goofy one.
He's not your favorite Avenger.
He's not my favorite Avenger. He's not even. They're not even Avengers though.
But then it gets all confusing in the end when they're all in the movie together. You don't even know who's who.
All right. Well, let's see if what he's doing with his mouth.
B.
You're going B? Oh, very good. Except it's wrong. Closed. His mouth is closed. So if you got that correctly, give yourself a point. Let's go to number 2. Which Chris will you find behind this mask? Hat is added to make it a little tougher. Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Pine? I only know like one of those.
I know who Chris Hemsworth is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only one I know. We're so old and out of date.
Chris Evans.
I don't even know who Chris Evans or Chris Pine is.
Oh. Is he Captain America? Is Chris Evans Captain America?
Chris Evans is Captain America. Okay. He's not my favorite Avenger. All right.
I go with C because I don't know who he is.
Yeah, we'll go with C. Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
I don't know what your guess is.
I'll go with C, sure. Hey, that was a great.
What is he playing?
What's he playing? Does anybody know?
I got nothing. Does anybody on here know?
Captain Kirk?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, on the new Star Trek. Thank you, Dave. And who else? Somebody else. Oh, Anthony Parker. Of course. All right, cool. All right, let's go to number 3. What will we find behind Kanye? What will we find Kanye? I cannot read. You know, school's over, NTI's over, and I'm like, I can't read. What will we find Kanye doing behind this mask? Snarling, straight-faced, or smiling? Have you heard any of Kanye's new music? His new gospel stuff?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
I kind of like it. It's kind of cool.
Do you have a favorite?
No. I don't even. It's been a while since I've listened to it.
I haven't heard any.
But it's kind of cool. It's got that kind of that soulful gospel and his choir.
I can get behind
that. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah.
To be honest. Well, let's see what he's doing. Is he snarling, straight face, or smiling?
C. That's my guess.
All right. You're going smiling?
I'm going smiling.
His eyes kind of look like he's smiling. Let's see.
Oh,
No, he is straight face. That's almost like a. I don't even know what that is. That could almost be a snarl.
Could be anger.
Yeah.
don't know.
We'll go straight face. All right, number 4. This is number 4. What will we find Lady Gaga doing behind this mask? Now, I have a guess on this one. Just because of who Lady Gaga is, who she is, and I'm going to guess that she's puckering.
I think that's a good guess.
I don't know that for sure, but I mean, she just looks like somebody that walks around and puckers all the time.
You know, I don't know that I could pick her out of a crowd if they weren't like, that's Lady Gaga.
No, I couldn't either.
I would have no idea.
I couldn't either. Not a chance. All right, so what do you all think? I'm seeing lots of B's,
I'm saying
some A's. You're going smirking. I'm going puckering. Let's see. Boom, I got it right.
Okay.
All right. I haven't seen these answers either, so I just threw the game in the computer, so I hadn't seen all the answers either. So I promise I'm not cheating. All right, all right. Let's go to the next one. I believe this is number 5. What is the status of Jennifer Lawrence's mouth behind this mask? She has some concerned eyes right there.
She looks so elegant, though.
She's from Louisville, right?
Yeah.
She's what movies? Let's see. She was in
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. My wife loves the Hunger Games.
She was also an X-Men.
Yeah, she was an X-Men.
Silver Linings Playbook, but that's a terrible movie.
She was not an Avenger, though.
No, she's an X-Men. She's Mystique.
All right. Closed, open, or open with the tongue out?
Tongue out.
Tongue out? I'll go open.
I doubt it, but that's my guess.
All right, let's see. Open with the tongue out. All right. That's kind of a goofy. That does
I feel
not.
like that's a Jennifer Lawrence face.
I was gonna say you were talking about how elegant she looks.
She does look elegant.
It's not an elegant. It's not an elegant face.
That's
All right,
okay.
Let's go to. I believe this is number 6. Anybody got them all right?
Not me.
Not me. What will we discover on Brad Pitt's face when we remove the mask? Clean shave, beard, or mustache?
Okay. So you can't have a beard and a mustache.
You can't have a beard and a mustache.
His hair looks raggedy, so maybe he's got something going on here. Is this during quarantine? Is this picture taken during quarantine?
You know what? It could be. It could be. You know, it's interesting because a lot of guys, including myself, have just been like, you know what? Heck with shaving during quarantine. So I haven't decided if I like the scruffiness or not. But
oh, I'm like, no, you didn't shave today.
I don't know if my wife's.
Shaved today.
I don't know if my wife's watching or not. Do you like my scruffiness, Haley? If you're watching, you can comment in. I don't know if she's even watching.
Maybe she's busy with the boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she's not watching, that means Isaac is having one of those nights.
Aww.
So by the way, shout out to Callie Grant. She watched my kids today.
Yay!
Bless her soul.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was Haley. So, all right, let's see what Brad Pitt's.
Wait, you didn't have a guess yet.
Oh, I didn't have a guess. I'm gonna go. Oh, too late.
Too fast.
Mustache. Does he normally just have a mustache?
That's what I was trying to figure out if there was like a I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
I don't know. So, all right, let's go to the next one. How many teeth will be missing on this kid when we remove the mask? 1, 2, or 4? If it were Isaac's picture, the answer would be 1. Yes, he is 3 years old and lost a tooth. Callie Grant, again, was watching him one day, and he almost knocked it out. Yeah. He was wiggling it the other day and just pulled it right out. So if you haven't seen my son, Isaac, lately, he has this tooth right here missing. And it's funny. And he smiles. He'll tell you about it, too. He says, I'm missing a tooth.
Aww.
Yeah, it's not so cute.
But he's real proud of it. And it's probably going to be forever before it comes in.
Oh, my gosh.
He's 3.
It's going to be like at least
years.
2 years.
It's going to be
at
years
least 2
before
years.
that tooth comes in.
So...
Oh, he'll be so cute for the next couple of years.
Hey, funny story though. He told us he did not want the tooth fairy to come visit him. I don't know if he was scared, so I was like, "Cool, tooth fairy won't come visit you."
You're like, bummer.
So, all right, how many teeth is this kid
4
missing? You're going 4. I'm gonna go.
All in.
I'm gonna go with Isaac here. I'm going 1. Let's see.
2 front teeth.
Oh, it's 2. You got 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom.
Diagonal.
That's kind of a rough combination.
Whose kid is that?
Not my kid.
It's a Google kid.
All right, yeah, it's a Google kid. That's right. All right, how many more we got left, Sam? A couple more? 3 more. All right. Anybody got them all right? I don't. Sam does, but he's got the answer.
Like
all right, here we go. Next one. What type of mouth does this emoji have behind the mask?
What is no mouth?
Well, it means there's no mouth. I mean,
there's not like a line or anything.
There's no line. There's just no mouth. It means what it says there, Brittany. So
what kind of smiley face doesn't have a mouth?
I haven't seen the no mouth, but that doesn't mean that. I mean, gosh, there are emojis for everything anymore. There are emojis with 2 teeth missing, and straight faced, half frowns, or no mouth.
I think half frowns a pretty solid guess.
I'm going no mouth just because that's unique.
Because we don't know what that is.
Yeah. All right. So let's see it. No mouth. That is what a no mouth emoji looks like, right there. What kind of emoji
is that? Like, what is that?
Like, how would you use that emoji?
I know. Like, what is it?
All right, y'all help me out. Throw it in the chat. How would you use this emoji? Like, I don't even know what you'd say.
That one has a mask on it.
That one's got a mask on. Yeah.
Dreaming of your teenagers.
Dreaming of your teenagers. Wishing that
Creepy.
you could remove the mask. Oh, Carrie Patterson said she finally got one. So she's 1 out of 8. Way to go, Carrie Patterson, who is officially a senior. Shout out to our new seniors and also our graduating seniors as well.
Right.
So anybody else have any good uses when you don't know what to say? That's okay. That's speechless. I like that, Robin Howe. Well done. All right, let's go 2 more. Here we go.
Okay, it's legit. It's fine.
All right. Oh, look at that puppy.
It's a puppy.
I love labs.
A dead bird. Please let it be a dead bird.
Pull off the mask, and what will you find in this dog's mouth? I'm going a bird.
I am too.
Let's go a bird. That would just be great.
Wouldn't it be cute if it's a pacifier?
No, I want to see the bird.
Baby?
I want the bird right now.
It better be dead. Maybe alive would be better. I don't know.
Maybe it's a dead cardinal. Because that's the only good cardinal is a dead cardinal. Sorry.
It's fine.
Shots just fired. All right, let's see what's in the dog's mouth. Oh, it's a pacifier. Is that photoshopped?
I don't know.
Is it photoshopped? Oh, it's not even real. All right, last one. What topping is missing behind the mask of this deluxe cheeseburger?
What's
Mayo?
missing?
Yeah, what's missing? Mayo, bacon, or onion? So that means it's got 2 of them. Oh.
Bacon. I'm going bacon.
I'm going onion. Because
Go
nobody.
cards. Yes.
Nobody.
Go cards. Lazio coming in.
Nobody wants onion on their burger.
What?
It makes your breath stink.
They're so good. Onions are so good. Onion rings.
Onion. I can go with onion
Raw
rings.
onions, grilled onions, all the onions.
All right, let's see what's missing behind the cheeseburger.
Bacon.
So
is that what I said? Did I say that?
The bacon is missing. That's a shame too. I mean, the bacon cheeseburgers are the best. I got a bacon cheeseburger for Isaac the other day. Oh, we were
Where?
at Wendy's. We haven't been to Wendy's in forever. I'm giving like lots of shout outs tonight to restaurants and stuff. But we went to Wendy's the other day and he saw bacon on the cheeseburger and his eyes just lit up. He said, "Dad, I want the bacon on the cheeseburger." Okay.
You're
And
like,
so he
"You
ate
got
it
it."
in like record time. And so the other day we went to McDonald's and he said, "Dad, I want a bacon cheeseburger." I said, "They don't have bacon on their cheeseburgers." He goes, "Yes, they do." I said, "No, they
That was
don't."
Wendy's.
And then he started crying.
Oh,
Yeah. So, all right. So tally up your scores. See how many you got correct. And we'll give a shout out to whoever got the most right. Carrie Patterson did not win because it took her 7 tries to finally get one. Carissa, on the other hand, we know who the smart sister is. She got 8.
8? All 8?
She got, well, there were 10.
Oh. There were. See, I see people say 5 out of 8.
Was there only 8? Maybe there was only 8.
2 out of 8.
Okay, maybe there was 8. So Carissa Patterson, you did not get 8 out of 8. Anna Minnis says 6. That's more believable.
5.
Did anybody beat 6? Other than Sam back in the back, who had all the answers? 5. Carissa Patterson did not get 8.
That's what she says.
She's lying.
She's smart. She did. Carrie
Says she did. All right, Carissa, if you can somehow prove it to me that you got all 8, then we'll send you a gift certificate. No, I'm just kidding. We'll send you something. All right. Well, that's kind of fun. What's behind the mask? That was fun. I ran across a video the other day, and I thought it was just absolutely hilarious. And the whole premise behind this video was simply this: what if 2020 was a person? Like, what would that look like? Well, fortunately, our friends at Sunday Cool made a quick video to show us what it would look like if 2020 was a person. Check this video out.
Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna miss every single one. I mean, it wasn't all bad, right? At least you got Baby Yoda, right? 2020! What's up, man? 2020. Good to see you, pal. Have you lost weight? You look great, by the way. Just a couple of tips. In the spring, they're going to release a documentary called Tiger King. Just number one, they're going to hate it at first, but then everyone's going to love it, okay? And by the way, BT Dub, she did it. Get out. Okay. Oh, by the way, the movie Cats, biggest apologies, okay? I really apologize. I'm sorry, okay.
Is that fire? He's lighting a candle, everyone. What are you doing? Come on, mate. Don't. Are you listening? I said don't. Whew. I thought there was about to be another.
It's Corona time.
What is that?
Hey, it's Corona time right now.
What's Corona time?
It's Corona.
What's
time.
Corona? Man, that's it, man. I'm gonna go attend a large social gathering, dude. Please no. I want to go to Florida. That's it. I'm going anyway.
Large social gatherings? That means we could still meet, right? Of course. That's great. Online. What? We don't know how to do that. Not my job, not my prob.
Well, at least I can still graduate. Oh, man. Money!
We're gonna be rich! Why are they laughing? Don't worry about it. What are you doing?
Oh, me? I'm just planning my vacation for down the Keys this weekend. But now I gotta reserve my week at Disney. Look at this. Hey, how you doing? We got some unexpected but unwanted surprises for 2020.
Yeah.
All right, sign ya. You guys got a party going on?
Something like that.
All right, take it easy.
What's that? Oh, this? Just something I got for you guys. What's in the box? What's in the box? Please no. Not the Olympics. Yes!
Oh, come on! Are you...
Come on, please stop. I thought it was going to get worse. Oh, come on!
All right. Well, that was kind of fun and kind of funny, kind of sad. You got to laugh about this stuff, right? Well, we're going to play another quick game called Faceless Films. This time there's no mask, there's just no face at all. And so what we're going to do, we're going to throw up a picture of a movie scene onto the screen with the faces removed. Your job is to figure out what movie it's from. We actually played this game at Christmas time, but it was Christmas movies. It's not, there are different movies. So if you remember all the answers from Christmas, our Christmas party, it's not the same answers, so don't try. That would not end well.
Cheaters.
Cheaters, that's right. So here we go. Let's throw up the first faceless film. All right, here's the scene. Do you know what movie this is from? Do you know? Do you have any guesses?
Are those dinosaurs?
There's a really good hint in there.
Are those dinosaurs?
They could be. Anybody coming in?
I'm really bad at movies. I don't know.
Y'all don't watch movies very much?
Noah watches movies very much.
Yeah.
And then he's like the filter. So he watches all these movies and he's like, you'll like this one. And then I watch that
Yep.
one.
Gracie Spear, first one to say it. It was Jurassic Park.
Never seen it.
Absolutely. Can we add the faces there so the scene looks normal? There we go. Jurassic
Chris Pratt.
World. Chris Pratt again.
Right? Yeah. That's him.
Yep, it was Jurassic. It was not Jurassic Park. That would have been incorrect. Like I said, it was Jurassic World. How many Jurassics have they made?
I've
Does
never seen
anybody
any of
know? 4? Did the new one come out, or was it supposed to come out this summer and didn't come out? Does anybody, I feel like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no clue. Somebody help me on that. Seems like Jurassic World 465. I'm like, how many movies can you make about fake dinosaurs? All right. 5. Walker Dean says 5.
Maybe that's right. I don't know.
Okay, I'm trusting Walker Dean on this. He says there's 5. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 2. What movie? This looks creepy. That scarecrow in the middle of the cornfield. It's like, what's the movie about the corn? Children of the Corn?
Never seen it. Sounds scary.
That looks weird. I'm just saying right now. You got a scarecrow with 3 birds.
Also Walking Dead.
Ooh.
The Hobbit.
Walking
That's what
Dead,
people
The
are
Hobbit.
saying.
The Hobbit. All right.
Isn't
Let's
The Walking
see.
Dead a TV show, not a movie?
Let's see what it is. Lord of the Rings. Oh, Anthony Parker, Fellowship of the Rings. So he got specific. I'm gonna
You
go
know
with
what?
that.
I have never seen those movies.
I could not get into the Lord of the Rings movies at all. I'm sorry.
I've fallen asleep every single time.
I'm sorry if you all like Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. That's just no, not me, not me. Or The Hobbit or The Wizard of Oz. Yeah. So that's like the remix of The Wizard of Oz right there. All right, let's go to the third one. All right. I think I know this one. Actually, it kind of looks like the scene from Friends.
Friends, that's what I was thinking. I don't even watch
So
Friends.
no one told you life was gonna be this. That could be the theme for 2020 right there.
No one told you that. But really.
But really, that's
Man,
right.
This is harder than
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's amazing. You take out the face of the characters, and it's just like
do we get like a time frame? Like
a couple of them are saying
90s on.
Elf.
Elf.
Elizabeth
Oh,
Rydell saying Walking Dead. Elf,
that a TV show?
Groundhog Day. Oh, I think Connor Stanfield might have just got it. Let's see.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Dava.
It is Groundhog Day. And I'm just telling you, the last 2.5 months have felt like Groundhog Day. The same day over and over and over and over with NTI and staying at home.
Oh,
It has felt like Groundhog Day. Well done. All right, number 4.
good movie.
Ooh, my wife loves this movie. She loves this movie. By the way, she never did comment. I guess she's not on tonight. Shame on you, Haley.
It's a good movie. Like one of the best movies.
Yeah, she loves this movie. All right.
They've never seen that. What?
Oh, you've never seen Groundhog Day?
Or this one.
Or this one? Aladdin?
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 Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dennis
Dennis
Menace. Well done. Dennis Menace got it. It is The Princess Bride.
Marriage.
The Princess
Marriage,
Bride.
boing,
That's a great date movie,
together
guys. If you're looking for a
today.
good date movie,
It is a good movie.
so all right,
As
as you wish. Yep. All right,
Aladdin.
next one. Here we go. Ooh, what is that?
What's happening?
I don't know. It's hard to tell what's
What's
going
like the
on
whole
in that
left
picture.
side of the picture? Like, what is that?
It looks like somebody just kind of got decapitated.
I got nothing.
Headless Horseman. I don't know. Somebody else says Aladdin.
I think that was for the last one.
Oh, maybe it was. Star Wars.
Star
The
Wars.
Force
I was
Awakens.
thinking Star Wars.
What is this? Carrie Patterson says Star Wars. I don't think anybody's got. I actually think I know what this is.
Really?
I do, and Star Wars is partly correct, but it's not fully correct.
Like, we need to be more specific?
You could be. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. A lot of people have said Star Wars, and it is a Star Wars movie. It is Rogue One. It is Rogue One. Rogue One was awesome. Are you a
Yeah.
Star Wars fan?
Fan? No. I've seen
Admirer?
them. I watch them.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
The Ewoks.
Oh, yeah. Minor characters, but yes, when they made their appearance, they
Well
made
done.
it strong. Yep. Rogue One, absolutely. All right, great
No, I
movie.
didn't like this movie because you get to the end of it.
And everybody dies?
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
They all die. Like, what? What the heck? I was like, all that for death?
But they had to.
I know. It's a greater mission. I know. No one
Greater
told me all
mission. They
about it.
sacrificed themselves just like Jesus did. There's your Bible study before the Bible study.
Rogue One.
Oh, man. All right, next one.
No.
All right.
Human.
Alien versus Predator. Aliens in a jumpsuit.
In an orange jumpsuit. It's
I
like
don't know.
a hazmat suit. That's what we should all be wearing.
That's what we should all be wearing. We should have, if I could have come up with two of those, that's how we should have started the show.
Yeah.
With us wearing those.
That would have been funny.
I don't see anybody coming through on this one. This has stumped everybody.
Who said 42?
Nothing. I mean,
Somebody's a
nobody.
hitchhiker's saying
Nobody. I'm getting what? Independence Day? That's a good guess.
COVID testing place. We don't wear that when we test COVID patients.
Anthony Parker says, "Man, I saw this. Forget the name." Carrie Patterson again. I literally only have one right. I'm not good at games. You are not good at games.
Close Encounters.
Close. That's
The
a good
third
guess.
time?
Lego Batman. Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started. It's not Lego Batman. I can promise you that. My son Isaac, again talking about Isaac. He watches Lego. I bet he's watched it 15 times in the last 3 days. That's not an
Is
exaggeration.
there like a Lego Batman movie? Not just
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Lego movie and Lego movie 2?
There is Lego Batman. Yeah. Yep. Your boys can come over and watch it. Isaac would
Oh.
love to watch it with them.
I don't know.
All right,
We've
let,
seen that.
let's see the movie.
Arrival. That's what somebody else said. Oh.
It's Arrival. Who got that right?
Denisa Parker.
Denisa-
Oh, and Anthony. Oh, Noah.
And Noah got it.
That's one of Noah's favorite movies.
Is it really? I don't even
Yes.
know what it is. What it's about.
We literally have talked about this like 10 times today. I'm not even
Alright.
kidding. Weird.
All right. Next movie. Ooh. I think we talked about this movie already today.
This movie?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I think we have mentioned this movie already on the show.
We or you or me?
You then we.
Okay.
Haley Zvinko says Black Widow, Outbreak. Anna Menace says Hunger Games, and I believe that's correct. Let's see it.
Oh.
Yes, it is the
Katniss
Hunger
and Peeta.
Games. Katniss Everdeen and PETA. All right.
Malark.
Peter
Malark.
Meadowlark was a
Did you read the
Harlem
book?
Globetrotters. No, I didn't read the books. I just watched the movies.
They're so good.
I don't read the books. I just watch the movies of stuff.
I can't. You're burning my ears.
Yeah.
Books are so much better.
We started reading the Chronicles of Narnia with Eli.
They're so good.
Again,
Which one did you start with?
I don't know, whichever one was in Haley's great big book. Something about a door. I know that helps because they're all about a door. The secret door, the hidden door, I don't know. All right, here we go.
Maybe like a wardrobe, not a door?
No, it was not the wardrobe. It was not one that.
Was it the first book, which is The Magician's Nephew?
Maybe.
That's
I
the
don't
best
know.
book.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I know this one. I know this one.
This one. This one. I
That
think is the
costume you
easiest
should know anywhere.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, y'all.
Come on, y'all. I know there's a 7-second delay, but you guys can.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
All right, Pirates of the
There we
Caribbean.
go.
There we go.
Caribbean. How do you say it?
I say Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's what I say. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Caribbean.
No,
I don't know.
it's Caribbean.
I say Caribbean.
Tomato.
Oh, Dead Man's Chest, being specific.
Oh, there you go.
Is that the second one?
Did you like these movies?
I did.
I liked the first one, and then I thought they got ridiculous after that. They should have just stopped after
At
the first
World's
one.
End was like the downhill, and then I don't even know what happened after that.
Yeah. So, but the ride
Dead
at
Man's
Disney is
Chest.
good.
The boat ride?
The boat ride. Yeah. All right, here we go. Next
Kind
one.
of creepy.
It is kind of creepy.
Oh, should we reveal the answer? Oh yeah.
Oh, there we
Pirates
go.
of the
Pirates of the Caribbean. Everybody got that right.
It's Johnny Depp.
Way to go, Johnny Depp. From Kentucky.
Is he from Kentucky?
I think so.
I think you made that up.
No, I really think he's from Kentucky.
Maybe he is.
Somebody verify that for us. Is
Google.
Johnny Depp from Kentucky? I think he's from Kentucky. I know that he used to have a horse farm in Lexington
Oh. Maybe
because I've driven by it. I drove by the for sale sign and thought maybe I should buy it on the youth pastor salary.
Just what we need.
Yes, he is. Robin House says yes, he is. Okay,
man,
there we go.
I didn't know that.
Boom.
Trivia.
So we're
Next trivia night, I'm a rocket.
So Johnny Depp, Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, this is like shout out to all the actors from Kentucky.
Oh,
actresses.
Noah, help me out. What's that girl that's a singer?
There are
She
lots
went
of
to-
girls
I
that are
know.
singers.
She went to YPass. What's her name? And she's on The Masked Singer as one of the judges.
Oh, I have no idea.
That girl's from here.
I don't know. Owensboro. Robin House says Owensboro. That's my stomping ground right there.
Oh, somebody else is on.
All right, let's go. Next one. Oh, everybody should know this one.
Uh-oh. Nicole Scherzinger. That girl.
No, Nicole, oh, there you go.
She's from Louisville.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Oh. I've only seen this movie once, and I was like, give it like it
My
wasn't the
wife
best.
loves this
Really?
movie. I'm like, listen, the boat sinks every time. And one time you're hoping for a different ending, but it doesn't. Yeah. All right, everybody got this one right. Titanic,
Except
of
for
course,
Brittany. I
except
didn't know
for
what it
Brittany.
was.
We took Jack completely out of the picture there. Not just his face, his whole body. Do we have any more, Sam? We got one. We won't do the tiebreaker because we've just kind of been doing this for fun. All right, last one. Here we go. Kind of looks like Star Wars.
I don't know.
I don't have a clue.
They're just.
Not a
First,
clue.
I thought they were like bulletproof vests, but they're not. They're just like.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no.
there we go. The Maze
I'm not
Runner.
even kidding. I was kind of
Show
thinking
it.
that.
Yes, it's the Maze Runner. I'm trying
I'm
to
not
think if
even
I've seen
laugh.
this movie. I don't know if I've seen this movie or not. Have you seen the Maze Runner?
I have.
Is it good? I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah. Isn't there a bunch? Isn't there like 3 of them?
Two?
2. Oh, there was 3 books then. Again
Ah.
with the books. Again with the books.
Yeah, again, I don't read books, so except the Bible. But
Well, if you're gonna pick one, Josh, I guess that's a good one to pick.
oh me. All right, well, good job, everybody. I'm glad you know your movies. That was fun. But that actually kind of leads us into our study tonight. Real quick, I want to ask you guys, I'll ask you too, Brittany. I think you may have already mentioned it tonight, but what are some of your all-time favorite movies or stories, I guess? But what are some of your all-time favorite movies? Put them in the chat. Susan, I've already pulled up my message, so you'll have to tell us some of their favorite movies. What about you, Brittany?
I like Sweet Home Alabama.
Chick flick.
Yes, and I like Shawshank Redemption.
Not a chick flick.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Long.
I watched that on a whitewater rafting trip, Dave.
I always like when that's on, I like catch parts of it. Like I probably have only
It's
seen
so
it in its
good.
completion maybe like one time.
It's so good.
So Holy Grail.
Did Dave say that? Did Dave say the Holy Grail? I know, Dave.
The Notebook
Oh.
chick flick. Of course.
It's okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wow. Pearl Harbor chick flick.
High School Musical.
Oh,
Chick flick.
I could go for High School Musical. I do like that movie.
But Star Wars from Josh Dean.
Oh, Josh Dean.
Oh, I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
Wow, it's another chick flick.
I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
I-
Braveheart.
Ooh.
Gosh.
Braveheart. Who was that from? That has to be from a guy. Yeah. I knew that had to be from a guy.
The Greatest Showman. That's
I like
a good
The
movie.
Greatest Showman. Who was that from?
Um,
Yep, that's a good movie.
Saving Mr. Banks. Have you seen that movie?
Oh, that was a good movie.
It is one of my favorite Disney movies.
I don't think it's one of my favorites, but it was okay.
That and Coco.
Coco is good.
Coco's a good movie.
Coco is good. But, the reality is we love movies. And one of the things that makes a movie great are the characters. And we can all debate, with Star Wars, with any of the movie series, we can debate who our favorite characters are. With the Avengers, we can debate who our favorite Avenger is. With the DC movies, we can debate who our favorite DC character is. Dave Richardson, we know it is not Captain Marvel for you. Yeah. But the thing that makes the movies great are the characters. And the producers and the directors and the people who put out these movies for us, they work so hard to develop these characters, both their good qualities and their bad qualities, so we can feel for them. I know for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I get invested in characters. And when, I'm sorry to spoil it, if you haven't seen it yet, too bad, it's been out long enough. When Iron Man died,
Oh my gosh.
I cried like a baby.
I know. I did too. I did cry.
I cried more the second time I saw it than the first time. I saw it the first time with Anthony Parker, and no, who did I see it with the first time? It wasn't Anthony. I don't know who I saw it with. It was not my wife.
Did you go to the premiere?
No, I did not go to the premiere,
didn't?
but I went the opening weekend. But I cried the first time. But then the second time I went with Haley, I was over there bawling. She looked at me, she says,
She's
"Are you crying?"
really right now? Really?
I'm like, yes.
It is sad.
It is, man, it's tough. It is tough.
I hate that when they die.
But what I love about movies and the character development is oftentimes, kind of right in the middle of a movie, they'll kind of give us a glimpse of their backstory. And I love getting a glimpse of the backstory of characters because it helps us to really feel invested and, feel the whole weight of who that character is. Now, sometimes they tell the backstory, and for a moment you're sitting there going, what? What does this have to do with anything? And then later on, you're like, oh, I get it. I know why that makes sense. And so the backstory is really, really important to the character development and for us to get to know who they are. And like I said, sometimes this character development can feel kind of random, which kind of made me think, I wonder if we ever have moments in our lives, Brittany, that just kind of feel random. Like we see what's going on around us and we're like, what does this have to do with anything in my life right now? For example, COVID-19. We're like, what is the deal with COVID-19? Why is this important in my life right now? Why is this happening? And so we're asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Star Wars Episode 8, where I spent the entire movie going, what is this? And what does this have to do? When they introduced that character Rose, some of you that haven't seen Star Wars, you're like, what is he talking about?
I don't know that I've seen that one.
Okay, don't see it. It doesn't matter because it's pointless. But when they introduced this character Rose, you're just like, why? What's that got to do with anything? But like I was saying, that's got a lot to do with our lives because there are so many moments in our lives where we're like, what is the point of all of this that's going on? And we've all been there, right? You go through a situation in your life that you just don't understand, or circumstances in your life where you're trying to figure it all out. Sometimes you're disappointed with the way that life looks, and you're just like, why does this have to be this way? I know I've been there. I know you guys have been there. I know you've been there at times. For maybe for you it was at school, and you're like, why in the world do I need to learn things like the French Revolution? Why in the world do I need to memorize Shakespeare? Why in the world do I need to learn long division? What is the point of all this? Maybe you felt that way at home, and your mom and dad have given you chores, and you're like, why in the world do I even need to do this right now? Who cares if my room is dirty or clean? My 7, 8-year-old son has asked me that. What is the point of cleaning my room? It's just going to get messy again. I can't argue with his logic.
Well.
Maybe you have like felt some disappointment, like you didn't make the team, or maybe you got ghosted by a friend, or you got gossiped about at school, and you just couldn't understand what the deal was with all of that disappointment and that pain and that hurt. You couldn't see the bigger picture. You couldn't see the point. Or maybe it was just something really, really painful. Maybe you watched a loved one, really struggle, or maybe even watched a loved one that died or passed away, or maybe you dealt with things like anxiety and depression. And you're like, man, I just cannot shake this. Or maybe your parents are going through a divorce, or someone close to you hurt you in a way that you just don't know how to deal with, and those things just kind of make you wonder, what is the point of all of this right now? Maybe some of you even feel this way about your faith. Like you come to church some, or maybe you read your Bible every now and then, or you pray, and sometimes it just doesn't feel any different in your life. And sometimes you're like, you know what? What is the point of all of this? I don't even feel any different. Why does this even matter in my life? And the truth is, we've all experienced these difficult times throughout our lives where we're asking these tough questions. When things are difficult and we say, what is the point of all of this? Why is this happening? We don't see any good in any situation. And oftentimes when we don't see good in any situation, we ask the question, is there anything really good that can come out of this? And I think this is something for us to think about. I'll put this on your screen. Maybe you can write it down, or if you take notes, I know some of you take notes even while you're at home, which is awesome. The reality is this, that difficulties often feel random or pointless or unnecessary. Brittany, let me ask you a question here. Let's talk about this. And maybe you guys can even throw some comments out there on the chat. Why is it hard to see past our pain sometimes in the middle of difficult situations?
Yeah, I think because of human nature, are selfish, and so why is this affecting me? Why is this happening to me?
Yep.
And because of our selfish nature, we can't see the positive that could come of it.
Yep. Man, I know that I have done this in the last 2 months with this whole COVID stuff. I'm like, why in the world is this happening? I'm not even thinking about anybody else. I'm just like, why is this happening to me? Why can't I be around other people? Why can't I go to the movies? Why can't I go eat at the restaurant that I want to? Why can't I see my youth? Why can't I, fill in the blank?
Yeah.
And so many times I haven't even been able to look to see any of the good. And there's some amazingly good things that are happening even around us. And many times I've missed it because I've been so focused on my difficult circumstances and my difficult life and how crummy everything is for me. Which kind of brings us back to our old pal Joseph. I want to take just 30 seconds to remind you of the backstory of Joseph's life. If you remember from a few weeks ago, Joseph was the 11th of 12 sons. His father's name was Jacob. He was his dad's favorite, and everybody knew it. His dad gave him a coat of many colors. And his brothers were pretty ticked off and didn't like it, you can imagine. And so they plotted to kill him. Pretty extreme. They threw him in an empty well. They stole his coat. They covered it in blood, took it back to his dad, obviously to tell them that he was dead, which he really wasn't, because they then sold him into slavery. He moved to Egypt. He gets put under the leadership and the supervision of this dude named Potiphar, and actually things start looking pretty good for Joseph, and then they didn't look so good because he was wrongly accused of having an affair with Potiphar's wife, like we talked about last week, and he gets thrown in prison. There's the 30-second backstory of Joseph's life. You think your life is bad? There's Joseph.
Poor Joseph.
All right, so here's where we find Joseph. He's sitting in prison, and he finds himself, let's just be honest, in a lot of difficult and painful and frustrating circumstances. Talk about unfair. I mean, when you look at Joseph's life, it was pretty unfair. Can you imagine, sitting there in prison thinking, I know what he must have been thinking. He's like, okay, God, you have got to be kidding me right now. I think, can things get any worse for me? Have you ever asked that question, Brittany? Like,
No, because it's scary. Like, don't say that. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, it's going to get worse. I've asked this question all the time. I'm like, how long is this terrible thing? I've asked this about COVID. How long is this terrible thing going to last? What is the point of any of this? That's exactly the question that Joseph was asking right then. And I have to think that Joseph thought that this was a very unfair situation. He had to have been thinking, God, I have been trying to do the right things. I've been trying to live the way you want me to. And where has that gotten me? Right here in prison. Way to go, God. And so some of those feelings of frustration that we feel, that we've talked about, Joseph had to have been feeling them in this situation. But thankfully, God always has a bigger picture in mind.
Yes.
And what Joseph couldn't see in prison was this, that God was working behind the scenes to help him. This is on your handout, that he was working for the good. I want you to understand this. God was working for the good even during Joseph's pain. Joseph just couldn't see it yet. And while Joseph was in prison, what's really interesting about Joseph's story is he wasn't alone. He wasn't like put in this dungeon by himself. He wasn't alone. There were two other really important guys that were with him. And one of them was Pharaoh's cupbearer. The other was a baker. These two people got thrown into prison with Joseph. Now, you probably know what a baker does. Obviously, he bakes things for Pharaoh. But maybe you don't know what the cupbearer does. So here was the job of a cupbearer. The job of a cupbearer was to take the wine or the food or anything that was going to be served to Pharaoh and eat it and test it before it was given to Pharaoh. So as long as the cupbearer didn't die, it was okay for Pharaoh to drink. But so those were two people that got thrown in prison. We don't know why, but they got thrown in prison with Joseph. So kind of back to our story here. What Joseph didn't know yet was that these two guys, the cupbearer and the baker, were going to play a much bigger role in the life of Joseph. Take a look at what happened. Let's look at the scripture. It says there in Genesis chapter 40, while they were in prison, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker each had a dream one night. And each dream had its own meaning. When Joseph saw them the next morning, he noticed that they both looked upset. Why do you look so worried today? He asked them. And they replied, we both had dreams last night, but no one can tell us what they mean. All right. So at first glance, it doesn't seem all that remarkable. You're like, okay, two guys had a dream. What's the big deal? Remember a few weeks ago when we talked about dreams and Joseph and all that, dreams were really important because dreams kind of predicted the future as to what was going to happen. And so here were these two dudes that had dreams. What do we know about Joseph? He, with the help of God, can kind of interpret dreams. And so Joseph, through the help of God, was able to help the cupbearer and the baker to interpret their dreams. And so this is the interpretation to their dreams. For the cupbearer, Joseph said the dream means that here in 3 days, you're going to get reinstated by Pharaoh to your job. Everything's going to be all right for you. For the baker, he said, well, the dream is bad news for you. Pharaoh's going to execute you in 3 days. So that was the interpretation that Joseph provided those two people. So let's take a look at what happened next. Continuing there in Genesis chapter 40, it says this. Pharaoh's birthday came 3 days later, and as he prepared a banquet for all of his officials and staff, he summoned his chief cupbearer and chief baker to join the other officials. He then restored the chief cupbearer to his former position so he could again hand Pharaoh his cup. But Pharaoh impaled the chief baker just as Joseph had predicted when he interpreted his dream. Pharaoh's chief cupbearer, however, forgot all about Joseph, never giving him another thought. Okay, just a couple of things I want you to notice. The first thing is this. Everything that God told Joseph to tell them came true. The cupbearer got his job back, and sorry for the baker, he lost his head. But the second thing you notice is this. One of the things, or the one thing that Joseph requested of the cupbearer is, hey, when you are restored to Pharaoh, don't forget about me. In other words, hey, when you get back to your position, make sure you tell Pharaoh about me so I can be restored to my position as well, so I can get out of here 2. What you notice is when the cupbearer was restored, what happened?
Forgot.
He forgot all about Joseph. And so imagine at this point, Joseph is sitting there going, great. What is the point of all of this? That was my one shot to get out of here. That was my one shot to get out of here. I asked him to do one thing, and he couldn't even do that. And so what's really interesting about this story is Joseph actually, after that, stayed in prison there for 2 whole years. You talk about feeling alone, feeling frustrated, feeling defeated. That had to be what's going through Joseph's head, Joseph's mind. I mean, probably, after maybe a few days, he's like, okay, any day now, the cupbearer is going to come through. Maybe every time that cellar door, he's like, okay, here comes the cupbearer, here comes Pharaoh to let me out. And day after day after day after day after day, his circumstances didn't change. And I have to believe that Joseph was like, you know what? What is the point of all this? I don't even care anymore. God, where in the world are you in all of this? Well, 2 years passed. 2 years, Joseph's circumstance didn't change. But then we see what happens next. God wasn't done. Chapter 41, this is what it says. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has revealed the meaning of the dreams to you, clearly no one else is as intelligent or wise as you are. You will be in charge of my court, and all of my people will take orders from you. Only I, sitting on my throne, will have a higher rank than yours. Here's what happened. Let me give you the backstory again. Pharaoh had a dream. Nobody could interpret it. And all of a sudden, 2 years later, the cupbearer goes, wait a minute. There's a dude, I bet I know who could interpret it. It said, this dude Joseph can interpret it. And so Joseph came and he interpreted Pharaoh's dream that nobody else could. And watch what God did. God blessed Joseph. And Joseph became second in command over all of Egypt, right below Pharaoh. Second in command. God blessed him. All that time, 2 years, Joseph had to be sitting there going, what are you doing? What is the purpose of all this? And yet God was working a bigger picture. God was working behind the scenes. After all of the struggle, after all of the suffering, after the slavery, after the imprisonment, after the abandonment, Joseph finally got the good news that seemed like would change his life forever. And I imagine Joseph is in there going, it is about time. It is about time. But here's the thing, guys. It's not about Joseph getting the good news. It's not about the happy ending or the nice promotion that Joseph got, which was great. It's about a bigger picture. Because what Joseph didn't realize, guys, is that during that time in prison, God was behind the scenes writing a bigger picture. Joseph didn't see it right there. Joseph didn't see it while he was in prison. But check this out. This is on your screen. Right there in the middle of a painful and difficult circumstance, he was positioned to do something great, something only God can do. Guys, maybe some of you are sitting in a situation right now and you're like, where is God? What in the world is going on? Why in the world is this happening to me? Is it possible that maybe right in the midst of your painful circumstance, maybe right in the middle of your difficult circumstance, maybe God is positioning you to do something great. Maybe God is positioning himself in a place to do something that only God could do. Man, Joseph's story was painful, and it was filled with discouragement and problems, but through all of those problems, God was creating this better future for Joseph. God was creating something bigger. And Joseph had to just be willing to trust God that God could use him right where he was. Through the pain, through the circumstances, through the feelings of defeat, God was working behind the scenes for his good. And guys, I think the same thing can be true for us. We may never understand why we're dealing with the things that we're dealing with right now, or why we're facing the circumstances that we are. We're in some tough times right now. But guys, we can trust that just like God was there for Joseph, there's a bigger picture for us too. There's a bigger picture going on. In other words, let me put this on your screen. When you can't see the bigger picture, trust that God is working for your good. When you can't see the bigger picture, and some of us are there right now, trust that God is working for your good. I want to ask a question here to kind of pause and think about this. Brittany, why is it hard to believe that God is still working when we can't see the bigger picture?
Man. I think it goes back to being selfish. Like if we always are trying to solve problems on our own, like,
Yep.
right? So where's our solution? We're trying to rack our brain and figure out how this is going to come out. And we have to trust that God is planning something that we can't even fathom.
I'm a fixer. I don't know about you.
I'm not, but
I'm a fixer, and so
No,
when
it is.
there's a problem, I think guys are. I mean, girls are too, but I think a lot of times guys are wired like this. Like we are fixers,
Yeah.
and so when there's a problem, when there's something that's not right, we want to fix the
it.
problem.
Yeah.
And the reality is, a lot of times we can't. A lot of times there's nothing we can do. Like the situation we're in right now, I want to fix it. I want to make it all better. I want you all to be here right now. And I can't.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. And it's hard to remember sometimes that, you know what, I can't do anything about this situation. But God's still at work.
Yes.
You know, I can't do anything about what's going on in my life. But God's still at work. And guys, listen to me. The same can be said for your life. That when you go through tough circumstances, when you go through hard things, listen, your situation is not going to look exactly like Joseph's.
Hope not.
I hope not.
Hope not.
But when it seems like it's impossible, when it seems like there is nothing good that can come out of your situation, I want you to remember that God is really, really good at doing the impossible. I want to check this out. This is a passage from Romans chapter 8. This is what Paul says in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Guys, listen to me. It may not make things better. You know, it may not make sense. It may not make your circumstance even go away. But God is in the business of taking our hurt and taking our difficulties and our pain and redeeming it for good. Check this out. Somebody said this to me, and I love this this quote. Simply, I don't even know where it came from, but it stuck with me. God doesn't waste a hurt. God doesn't waste a hurt. And some of you are hurting right now. I get that. God gets that. And I can promise you, God does not waste a hurt. God is behind the scenes working a bigger picture that maybe you cannot see right now. And guys, listen to me. Even if something was done to you on purpose to cause evil, even if something was done for not good, God can take those situations and use it for good. I put this on your screen. Maybe you want to jot this down. When you can't see the bigger picture, remember, I love this, that your problems can position you for a purpose. Man, you might want to write that down somewhere. That when you can't see the bigger picture, remember that your problems can position you for a purpose. This doesn't mean that we can tie a bow around all the bad things. It doesn't mean that everything will be fixed and go back to being how it was before all the bad stuff happened. It just means that we can leave room for God to tell a new story in our lives. It means that we can leave room for God to move in the midst of our circumstance. It means that we can have confidence that God can redeem things that seem bad for his good. To know that something good can come from the bad. It means that this bad stuff, it doesn't get the last word, guys. That the hardest and the worst stuff that we experience aren't the end of the story. In fact, they might be part of the backstory that tells a greater story down the road that you can't even see right now. That was the case for Joseph. So, where do we go when we experience this hurt, this pain, this brokenness, these circumstances? When we can't see the bigger picture, what do we do? Well, let me give you a couple things for us to remember. The first thing is this. Remember that no one else has your life story. Nobody else has your life story. Your difficult circumstances, man, they're not fun, but they are unique to you. The way that God teaches you and grows you and stretches you through these tough circumstances, man, that's unique to you. That is your story that God is shaping. The way that He is crafting you and molding you and shaping you, weaving you, even through tough circumstances. That's your story, and nobody else has your life story. Number two, that I think it's important for us to remember is this, that your story can impact others. Brittany, I want you to touch on this.
Okay.
How can your story make a difference for somebody else?
Man, I think that we go through things sometimes, and whether we handle them well or don't handle them well, I think we can learn a lesson from that.
Yep.
And then, other people are going to go through similar things. Maybe not the same thing, but something similar. And we can say, hey, God taught me this in that situation.
Yes.
Or I did this and it was a horrible idea. So
Yes.
maybe try this next time.
Yeah. You might be the voice, guys, to help somebody else through their challenging circumstance.
Yeah.
Paul says this in the book, I think it's 2 Corinthians, where Paul talks about, I think Grace even talked about this in her Thoughtful Thursday several weeks ago, about how we go through circumstances and we go through pain and we go through these challenging times where we're asking, why me? Well, maybe the why me is so somewhere down the road, you can be a voice for somebody else who's going through something very similar. Because your story can impact other people. Third thing I want you to remember is this, that God works for your good. So look for the good, or look for God's good. Guys, listen, when you're going through difficult situations, it is so easy to get so focused. You said that so well just a minute ago, Brittany, that we get so focused on our situation and our circumstances and how it's affecting us, that all we see is the bad around us. And sometimes we miss out on God's good. And so here's my challenge to you guys, is that when you're going through tough times, when you're going through tough circumstances, when you're asking those questions of what in the world is going around me, look for God's good. Look for God's good. Take a step back. And maybe sometimes when you take a step back, you'll see maybe a glimpse, maybe not the whole picture, but maybe just a glimpse of what God's doing. We talked just a minute ago that even through all this COVID stuff, God's doing some good stuff. People are getting saved. People are checking into to what it means to have a relationship with God that's never been interested before. God's doing some good. Sometimes we just need to take a step back and look for God's good. Listen, guys, we're going to kind of close this way. Joseph, he went through a lot of pain that probably felt pretty pointless. But when we see his backstory, we see that God used his problems and positioned him for a greater purpose. And maybe, guys, maybe for you, God is using your problems right now to position you perfectly for a greater purpose. Maybe God wants to use you and your pain and your circumstances and your hurt, and He's positioning you right now for His greater purpose. So one question I want you to ask and think about is simply this. What's one situation in my life right now where I don't understand the point of? What's one situation in my life that I don't understand the point of right now? I was introduced to a young man, not really in person, but just I got to know his story several years ago. He's actually from Louisville and part of the Louisville band, or was part of the Louisville band. His name was Patrick Henry Hughes. And you talk about circumstances and seeing the bigger picture and seeing what God is doing. I believe this young man defines it. I want you to check out his story. Check this out.
The piece is titled Clair de Lune, Light of the Moon. In the darkness of his eyes and through the sweetness of his hands, when Patrick Hughes plays, it is the music of possibility and the sound of promise.
How would you describe your disabilities?
Not disabilities at all, more abilities.
Abilities everybody hears and sees at every Louisville football game. To understand how Patrick Hughes and his father became a two-person member of the Cardinal Marching Band, go back to when the music began. Born without eyes and with a tightening of the joints that prevents his limbs from ever straightening, Patrick has been blind and crippled from birth.
There's just countless the number of dreams that die, and my wife and I were devastated. We just asked, why us? We played by all the rules, we worked hard, we just didn't understand.
Kisses for Dad.
That heartbreak began to fade even before Patrick's first birthday, from his first moments at the family's piano in Louisville, Kentucky.
You could go up and hit a note no matter where it was on the piano, and within one or two tries he would find that exact note.
By his second birthday, he was playing requests.
Can you play You Are My Sunshine? Say Twinkle.
I was just ecstatic that, okay, we're not going to play baseball, but we're going to play music together, and that was really exciting. Let's see how far we can run with this.
Fitted with artificial eyes and placed in a wheelchair, as Patrick grew, so did his passion and his talent. He played old standards by grade school and blues numbers by high school. By the time he arrived at the University of Louisville this year, his musical ability on piano as well as trumpet was well known throughout the city.
I said, Patrick, you need to be a part of the marching band. And their reaction was just a little bit of a pause.
My dad and I are hearing this and we're like, right. I mean, how in the heck am I supposed to march?
The next step was working out what we needed to make happen in order for Patrick to be involved in the marching band, other than just parking on the sidelines and playing his instrument.
I said, well, if Dr. Burns that impassioned about it and Patrick wants to do it, then by golly, I'll give it my all as well.
So it was decided Patrick would play and Dad would push. As part of the 214-member Louisville Marching Band, a blind and wheelchair-bound trumpet player and his able-bodied father do it all together. From the pre-game drill practice to the march around the stadium to the halftime performance in front of thousands. Dad rolls and rotates his son across the field in mostly perfect formation.
He'll sometimes end up pushing me a little quicker than normal, so that pretty much means, hey, must have done something wrong, so he's got to hurry up to get me to the right spot.
Dip. Spin.
In order to be at every band practice,
I'm too slow on the spin.
And to sit beside his son in every class.
Question?
Yes. How do you come up with all the...
Patrick's father works the graveyard shift for UPS.
How would you describe a work day for your dad?
Poor thing. He goes to work about 11 o'clock at night, Monday through Thursday nights, and then gets in at about 6 and goes to bed at about 6 and sleeps till around 11.
By the time Patrick moves from his bed into his wheelchair each morning, Dad is ready to begin their day together.
He's my hero. I've told him before. What he goes through, it's taught me that I don't really have any complaints. I guess a father couldn't ask for any more than the relationship that I have with Patrick.
God made me blind and unable to walk. Big deal. He gave me the ability to, the musical gifts I have, and the great opportunity to meet new people.
That's your fans, buddy.
Maybe when they hear him play, they recognize, wow, imagine the possibilities I didn't even consider when I saw this young man that I now know from hearing him play.
So whether it be on a field playing the Louisville Fight Song, or at the piano playing Claire de Lune, in a sense the melody is the same. Patrick Hughes plays so that we might hear the music of opportunity and the sound of potential.
Talk about seeing a bigger picture. Yeah. Talk about God working a bigger picture in the midst of circumstances, in the midst of asking, what's going on here? Why me? God orchestrating a bigger picture. What a great illustration right there. I want us to close tonight and give you an opportunity to respond in worship. I love this song. I appreciate Tim and Grace putting it together so we can worship together. And it's just a song that reminds us that, you know what? No matter what we're going through, no matter the circumstances around us, God continues to work. Let's worship together, guys.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won. No, you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail me yet. The dogs are joining in. It's okay. We might have peacocks in a minute. We'll see what happens. And I know the night won't last. Your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Yeah. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. Oh, my heart will sing your praise again. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail me. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail me. Yeah. I see you move, come move the mountains, and I believe I see you do it again. promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands, and this is my confidence. You never fail. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You never fail me.
Hey guys, let's pray together. God, I am so grateful that even in the midst of our circumstances, our difficult situations, God, the times where we ask, why me? The times where we ask, what is the point of all of this? God, you are often creating a backstory, a bigger picture that we can't even see. So, Father, I just pray that when we go through difficult times, challenging times, times where we don't understand, just like Joseph did, Father, we'll simply trust you, knowing that you are working for our good, that you are positioning us perfectly for a greater purpose. Father, we love you. We thank you for Jesus. And it's in his name I pray. Amen. Amen. Hey guys, listen, thanks for hanging with us tonight. I appreciate you staying with us. We went a little bit long, but I just enjoy being with you guys, even if it is through the live stream a little bit.
Yeah.
But we hope to see you back next week. We'll share a little bit more information. Most of you know that we're going to be welcoming back to church, just church, not we won't be having youth or anything like that yet. I'll talk a little bit more about that next week so you guys can know what's happening, because I'd love to see you guys come and be a part of worship here where we can and hang out a little bit. But listen, we want you to know we love you. We're praying for you guys. If there's any way that we can serve you, let us know. So Brittany, any final words?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, I am Josh. This is Brittany, and we're out. So we love you guys.
Bye, guys.